Stop wasting hours on 100 plus tutorials. Most people stuck because n8n has hundreds of nodes and they don't know where to start. I am Javed and I have built multiple automations for multiple businesses, and I have realized that 80% of AI automations are built using these same 20 nodes. Today I am gonna give you the shortcut to learn n8n quickly. Welcome to day 14 of 30 days AI Automation Masterclass, and today we are going to learn different types of nodes in n8n, which is going to build the 80% of AI automations in n8n. And if you guys mastered just these 20 nodes, you are going to master the whole n8n system. So watch the video till end so that you don't miss any important node. Okay, so moving to our first category, which is triggers. Triggers are basically the starting point of any sort of AI automation or AI workflow. Trigger is basically an event when which is called, then it pushes the workflow to execute accordingly. For example, our first trigger is trigger manually. This trigger executes the workflow whenever it is clicked manually. For example, if we click on execute workflow, and then it is going to execute the complete workflow connecting after this point. Okay, so our second trigger is schedule trigger. Schedule trigger is basically used whenever we want to schedule any sort of event or task for any business. For example, if you want to send emails at any specific time, or send call reminders at any specific time, then you are going to use a schedule trigger. Or you are having an YouTube automation channel and you want to publish videos on specific time, then this schedule trigger is gonna help you. Open this node, and here you are going to set up this schedule trigger. You can set it on minutes, hours, days, weeks, and then manage the days between the triggers at hours, and then triggers at minute. You can set up this according to your need, and whenever we click on execute, then it is going to execute on this current time. Like today is February 26th and the current time is 5:22 p.m. So close this. Okay, so moving next, our next trigger is on form submission. So if you are any sort of leads generation business for your clients, then this trigger is going to help you very much. You are going to set up this form on any external website or any external domain, and when someone fills out that form, then it is going to then execute the complete workflow, like filling the form. Then it comes here in n8n, then n8n writes any sort of personal Gmail or personal social message, and then sent it to the form filler. And this is how this form submission gonna work. And open this node. Okay, so this is the URL on which your form is gonna open on new tab, and this is the test URL, this is the production URL. And here I have set up the form elements. Form elements are basically the fields which is gonna set up in the form, and here is the form title and form description. And when I click on the execute step, then it is gonna open the form, and here I write Javed and email is test at the rate gmail.com, and hit submit, and you can see the data is available in our n8n. So if you want to do any further things, you can connect here an AI agent which writes the mail to the person who fills the form and etc. Our next category is storage solutions. So it include the databases and the authentication methods like password managers and these things. So the first node is the Google Sheets. You can connect your Google Sheets account and Google Docs account with your n8n. So you have to select this Google Sheets node, and here you have to connect your credentials. You can simply sign in with your Google account to create the credentials. And moving next, you have to select the Google Sheet created in your Google Sheet accounts and then its sheet number, and then it is automatically going to fetch these column values from the Google Sheet. And if we click on the execute step, and you can see we don't have any value coming from previous sheet, coming from previous node. So if we are gonna attach this to this and open this again, and click on execute previous node, and here write name and write test@gmail.com and hit submit, and you can see we have data in our input, and in the name we are going to write the name, in the email we are going to write the email. And then if we execute this step, it is gonna add this data in this Google Sheet columns, in this sheet, like in my contacts you are gonna have this data. So this is how the Google Sheet node works. After Google Sheet node, we have this insert row node in our n8n, which is going to insert any row in the specific sheet. So we have to create the data table. Click on create new data table. This is gonna be n8n's own database. So we are going to write the database table name, hit test, click on create, and here we have our database table. Here you have to add the row, and here you can add the column. So you can write the column name like address, hit add column table, and you can see we have the address column here. So this is gonna work same like the Google Sheets. And if we click on execute step, then you can see we have our address column empty and the remaining things are the same. Okay, so our third category is the universal data processing. So it contains a lot of components and these nodes. So it contains edit field set. It is the most common node used for creating the variables. Then we have split out. It is going to turn one list into many tasks, like splitting an array into multiple tables or multiple tasks. Then we have the aggregate. This is going to turn many tasks into one report, like many to one. Moving next, we have if node. It is going to have the value of 0 or 1 or true or false, like execute this if this. So if you are from coding background, you know if else and switch, and these are the base level terms in technical domain. Moving next, we have switch node. Switch node is basically having more than uh, uh, having two or more than two options to move the data, and it is used for multiple path routing. Moving next, we have core node, we have JavaScript node, and we have Python node also, and it is used to fix the logics. Then we have merge. This merge is gonna use when we are going to have multiple inputs, and it is gonna combine in and single output. Like for example, if we are going to have an social media generation agent and we are going to create posts, like this input These are the two posts for LinkedIn and Facebook, and these both are gonna store in an Excel sheet in a single category. And we have other options like YouTube and TikTok, and these two are gonna save in a single category in Excel sheet or any other platform. So I hope you understand this in base level. Now moving to one by one. So if we open this edit fields, we are going to add the name of the fields. We are going to add, for example, I keep this name leads, and then you have to write any sort of array. Like I have the array of name, email, and then we have the company, then location, and then the lead value. So if we are going to execute this step, then you can see we have the leads data here. You can also view it in the JSON form or in the schema form. And here you can see we have all these 5 to 6 leads in just single array or in just single item. So if you want to pick the single data or to pick the single data from this array, you are gonna use this split out. So we are gonna open this, and here you can see the data from the leads field is present here. So if we are gonna split out this and we are gonna click on execute step, so you can see we have split the data into the 6 items, like from 1 item to 6 items. This split out helps to filter out the data. Moving next, we have this aggregate term. So this aggregate is going to simply pick up a single element from all these 6 tables or from all these 6 elements, and then from all the 6 groups, and then display it in here. Like for example, we have choose the email, and the email data from all these 6 items is gonna display it here. When I click on execute step, and you can see it fetches the emails from all the 6 items. And if we input here the name, then you can see if we again execute the step, and then it is going to simply pick up the name. This thing helps when you have a lot of like thousands of number of data, and you want to filter out the data according to some specific criteria. Okay, so closing it and moving to if else statement. So open this node, and here we have to set up some conditions. For example, if the value 1 like name is equals to James, then it is going on 1. And if the value name is going to be Sarah, having the Sarah, then it is going to be number 2. So if we are gonna execute this step, then you can see here we have one item which is false in the false category. Okay, so you can see we have the false branch when we have this and in between. Okay, so moving next, our next node is basically the switch node. So in this switch node, we are having multiple outputs more than the if node. Like if node is gonna have only true or false, but in switch we can have multiple logics. And after that we are moving to code in JavaScript. Here you can write any sort of the code knowledge you want, because this node is gonna be executed according to your specific needs. After that we have this merge node. So for the merge node, I have told you previously that we can have multiple inputs, and then it is gonna save in a specific output. Like for example, we have two inputs coming, like two data coming, and then it is then going to store in a single Excel sheet or a single platform. Okay, so moving next, we have category 4 with category 4 of connectivity and APIs. So APIs are very basic and very important concept in n8n and in AI domain. So I will create a separate video for the APIs and use that in our n8n workflows. Like if you open here and you gonna search the applications, you can see we have hundreds of application here, but if we want to use the application which is not present here, like let me give you example, if you want to use JSON to video API, or you are gonna use the weather API and this sort of APIs which is not pre-installed in this n8n, you can simply use that APIs through these webhooks through these webhooks and HTTP requests. Okay, so opening this first node here, and you can see we have the method like post or get and etc, and then we are having this URL on which basically our API is being called, or our data is being called, and then we are going to set up it here. So here you simply just need to uh, add its add other nodes, like if you want to search the weather of specific area, you simple add an form input field before and then fetch the weather by having the API key here. Okay, so moving to next step, we have this webhooks. Okay, so this webhooks is basically used to send and get data from external servers, like sending data to external server and receiving back data to external server. For example, in webhooks, like we are like the most base level example is using 11 Labs API. For example, if you are using 11 Labs API for calling, so you simply have to add the 11 lab this webhook URL in your 11 lab setting, and then you when and then whenever you whenever whenever you click on the listen to test event or you receives a call, then your AI agent gonna work. This is how you connect external tools that are not present in n8n with this, and this not just get data, but this not just send the response and just store data, but it also gets back the data, and it gets into the one-to-one conversation and multiple conversations with specific tools. And same for the respond to webhook, this is gonna response to the incoming messages or incoming calls accordingly to the specific task we have defined. Like it is gonna store something in Excel sheet, it is gonna send email, it's gonna do these specific things after completing the specific previous task. Okay, so moving next, our next category is AI integrations. So AI integrations are very crucial and very base level components in n8n and making AI workflows. So first I will explain you this message a model. This node basically works in linear, like it receives data, process thing, and then response. For example, let me show you. You open this, you are gonna select this model, any model whenever you open and sign in n8n for the first time, you are going to have this free 100 credits from n8n. And if you guys are new to n8n, I have this 30 days AI automation masterclass series. So make sure you gonna back and start watching the videos from day one to make interesting AI agents and earn money by selling these AI agents to business owners and solve their real world problems. Okay, so if I select this model and then it is a messenger model, then it is going to be type text, and in prompt I am going to write, you are an professional script writer, write script on healthy activities YouTube video. And when I click on execute this step, then it is going to go back on OpenAI, fetch the data. It works exactly same like the chat GPT. Okay, so you can see it have written the script for us. So this is how it works. So it works in linear, like after that you can add here the Google Sheet to store this data. You can add any sort of tool here. But moving to AI agent is a whole package for you. It do it basically changes the game by integrating hundreds of tools at a single time and working as your personal AI assistant. Like if we open this AI agent, so you can see we can have the connected chat trigger. You can select the system message, and here you are going to write the system prompt. System prompt is basically the instructions and the message that how your AI agent is gonna perform. Like if it is a sales agent, then you are gonna write the sales prompt, like you are an assistant of this person and you are going to tackle these problems, response these problems in this way. Moving next, we have the chat model. You can add chat model Gemini, OpenAI, or Llama, or anything else. So we are gonna add the OpenAI chat model and close it here. You can also use OpenRouter and etc. according to your specific needs. Moving next, we have the memory. You can use MongoDB, Postgre, Redis. So we can use simple memory to store the chats, and so that your AI agent know the previous context. Moving next, we have these tools. This is the place where the game changes, and here you can select Gmail. After that, you can have the calendar tool. So you can also add Google Meets tools and etc. tools here. So it works as completely your assistant. Like if I write here and in this system message, you are my personal assistant. Okay, so here you have to write, you are my personal assistant and write emails to my real estate clients. Close it here. Then we are going to click on execute step. So moving next, there are some other important nodes which normally tech gurus don't tell you about, but these nodes are very important in businesses automation and businesses efficiency. Like this wait node is basically the human in loop. Like it confirms you first that to send this message so that there is no chances of error. Like you can place this before scheduling any meeting. scheduling any email responses to your seniors or to your stakeholders. After that, you have this error trigger. So this error trigger is gonna is gonna monitor and scan your workflow and then fixes the errors that potentially harm your system. Moving next, we have crypto. When you are gonna make the automations for bigger businesses which contains the payments information and specific sensitive data, then you are going to secure the data flow in that automation in from one tool to another. So you are gonna secure your data through hashing or through cryptography or using an private signs and etc. So this is all for day 14 of 30 days AI automation masterclass. So I hope you understand these 20 basic notes of n8n, and now you can make the AI workflow by yourself, and your tasks are to test this node and give multiple inputs and test what output is gonna occur. And tomorrow we are gonna learn the APIs and go deep into APIs and connect external tools with n8n. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye.